gonna put this at the front of the video. But I realized I think I legitimately have a problem because I've been cleaning and eBaying for months and months and months, and I've sold lots and lots of Warhammer and miniatures, and I'm in the final stretch. But I'm like, as I'm going through now, I'm just finding unfinished project after unfinished project, and I'm listening to audiobooks, and I'm looking at Goodreads, which I don't actually support anymore because Amazon bought them. But tangent I'm not going to go on right now. But I'm like, on Goodreads, I got 5 books in progress between real life books and audiobooks. And then like, I'm in the middle of like 3 different Greek books I'm studying. I'm in the middle of multiple other books that I'm not going to talk about that I'm studying. I know that I'm not going to talk about, but I'm in 3 other weird books that I'm studying. And I'm just like, nothing in my life is getting done. Or I'm just like starting new thing. And I'm not finishing anything. And it's really like hitting me pretty hard. So it was hitting me before, but I couldn't name it. And now that I realize that I am just bouncing around from stuff and not really finishing anything, my goal is to get all this cleaned up for real, 100% done, and start finishing stuff. That's my word of wisdom. Is that wisdom? I don't even know. All right, it's time to turn this mess into a studio, into a usable space instead of just a space where a bunch of stuff is thrown into it. So let's get clipped by the ceiling fan and get into it. I've started this process 6 times now. Not today, like 6 times throughout the history of the channel. I've recorded, it's time to clean this place up to make a real studio. And I never actually finish cleaning it up, and then I mess it all up again. So hopefully today's the day I'm gonna do it. What's up? Hi. So I'm somebody has to write everything down. So I've lost my pen. Man, that's what this pocket's for. It's the pen pocket. And recently my grocery store put a bunch of these composition notebooks on sale for like $2, I think. But it's graph paper, and the graph paper takes fountain pens, which is crazy. So I got a ton of these guys. I gotta sit down. I'm gonna approach it differently. I've done the thing where you just like put stuff away, and I get the space clean, but the space itself is never actually usable. I never get it to what I want it to be doing. And you can see like, it looks crazy over there, but it's all sorted now. So I've made progress. Everything's sorted. Everything's in boxes. I took everything except for those books right there, right there. I took everything off of shelves and I put it on my floor, sorted. And that's where it's been sitting for a couple of weeks now. So I got to put everything back away, but I want to rearrange everything so that I actually get what I want out of the space. So that's what I'm going to figure out real quick. Oh, also, by finishing our Tanner Simpson miniature, we are at 31 miniature painted, which it seems like it should be so much more. And it's really eye-opening because if I finished everything I had started painting on this channel, it'd be at like just over, not even counting the goblins, because that was a ton of models. If you take those out and just count everything else, we'd be closer to 100. So I got to get stuff finished. And part of that is just like the space is as scattered as my brain is. So it's time to figure that out. All right, we got a blank canvas, a very rough start, and I'm not an engineer, right? So I've got, every box is a square foot. This big, like this room right here it's 12.5 feet this way and 15 feet this way. And then I have like double doors right here into this smaller room, and I ran out of boxes. The smaller room is actually from here off is 5 feet, but that room is pretty squared away. There's not a ton of room to put stuff in there. I have my big desk in there, and then there's inbuilt shelving units here, and then there's like another smaller closet area inside this big closet area kind of thing. So and this is like AC stuff is here, and then there's a utility closet over here that's actually like underneath the stairs, and there's stuff here. There's a little bit of room here that I think I can store like foam and wood and like scrap materials that I don't really care if they get too gnarly with spiders, because the spiders are everywhere down here. But I've got this huge room, and now it's time to figure out what to do with it. Like, what do I need it to do? Okay, so honestly, I would normally not. I just marked this out for the ceiling fan, and I made a card for it so I could put it on top. I joke about it, but I walk into the ceiling fan every single day. And so normally I wouldn't want to put a big ass gaming table like because I got like right now my computer's over here. I come in here, so like it's right in the way of where I'm trying to go, and then these doors swing out, So normally I wouldn't want to put like a big thing right here, but I hit my head on this ceiling fan every day, at least like 3 times a week, and I only come down here like 4 times a week. So I'm thinking I'm gonna put the table, and too, like if the fan and the lights are like right above the table, it's just better lighting on the table. But what I'm worried about is like the ceiling fan. The ceiling fan's 3.5 feet with like the blades, so that's counting the blades. So if the table is there and I'm like standing here, am I gonna have those like fans like dunk, 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 like right on my head? So I can't really move the ceiling fan. That's definitely. I just looked at it again. It's definitely not an option because it'd just be a pain in the ass and probably not worth it. So I'm just kind of like, this is the biggest piece of furniture in here, and I gotta keep it because that's my gaming table for like everything. So it has wheels. So like right now it's here. So I can wheel it around, and I plan on keeping this open so like I can push it out of the way if I'm not gonna use it anytime soon, or like figure out where I can throw it, you know. But I don't know if I'm playing. I gotta see. Because, like, right now, I stand underneath it, like, because the ceiling fan's here, and then this table is here, and this is the exact setup right now. I was double checking. So I'm standing, like, here when I'm using the table, and I don't really notice the blades, you know? So, actually, I'm not too worried about that. At first, I was, but it'd be even better right here, because I'm, like, directly underneath the blades when I'm playing, and I've never been hit when I'm standing there playing. It's only when I'm walking. All right, so I made little cutouts of all the furniture in here that actually matters, and this is my current really dumbass layout. So I've got 2 big bookshelves, details right here, roughly a foot by a foot. They're not actually a foot by a foot, but for what it matters. And then there's a 2x1 shelf I had tucked here right in front of the door, actually, which is a terrible spot for it, but I was supposed to be a temporary thing, and it turned into a not temporary thing. I've got my big toolbox right here with a bunch of paints and hobby supplies. I got a little 2x1 foot shelf tucked in there, and everything else I have in here is like on wheels. So I'm actually, anything that I have on wheels, like these little carts of trays, I'm gonna put underneath the gaming table. So I didn't make cards for them, but now I really got to figure out what I want to do. And the main things that I want are a hobby, like airbrush booth, which is on this desk right here. This is where I'm sitting right now. Airbrush space, a painting and building and assembly space, and then on this table I can do War Machine. I can do any game that requires 6x4, or throw a 2x2 on top of it. You know, any game I want to play, I can do on here. And I want to keep this clean. I just want to stop using half of this for storage. I want to keep that clean, so I can keep games up on it. So if I'm just taking a turn here or there, especially because I'm doing so much solo stuff now. So I want to keep that clear. And then I have all these shelves. There's inbuilt shelving here. This is going to be my RPG nook. So most of these shelves are RPG books. I've got a couple other things, but I kind of got that solved because I want to have a section for RPGs that'll be there. And if I'm doing stuff online or online play, I have a little fold out wire rack thing that I can throw my laptop on and stream from there for like virtual tabletops, even though I don't really like virtual tabletops, but that's there. So the RPG section is handled. The War Machine, the War Games section, and the indie solo games are handled. But really, what I need to solve for is a permanent Kingdom Death setup. And so I had this pegboard here. I haven't even been able to really use it because there's so much shit in front of it. So I have this other 4x2.5 foot workbench that's in the laundry room right now that I've been using for 3D printing, but I don't really use it in 3D printing anymore. And so it's just kind of there. So what I'm kind of thinking about doing here is maybe this becomes my airbrush booth and like painting bench. And then this 6-foot guy, I slide down over here in front of the pegboard. I can sort all my Kingdom Death like tokens and all the accoutrement that come there. And maybe I think I can like 3D print some deck boxes and even like hang them up on the pegboard and shelves on the pegboard. And because I have right now, that's like, it's literally bolted into the concrete. So the concrete foundation, which I don't know how smart that was, but that's how it is. So I can put a ton of stuff on that pegboard, and maybe the pegboard is what houses my KDM stuff. And then KDM actually needs a ton of space because the showdown board is 2x3, and then you have the hunt board, which is like another 3 feet. So like I can do the hunt board this way and the showdown board this way, and it'll fit on here just barely, with a little bit of overlap. So, or actually, no, I don't think there'll be any overlap, but I can just barely fit everything on this 6-foot table.
So I need space for the chair. So we gotta, if I put the table here, that gives me, I can scoot up and down this whole area. And that overhang's not a huge deal, like we already talked about. So I can slide my chair comfortably. This back wall might get a little sketchy, but I usually I'm sitting here.
Okay, so a part of me is like, what if I pop these doors off and then just get a shower curtain and like curtain rod it, which I think I could get it almost like be like a cool way of like entering the RPG den. All right, I took some exact measurements instead of just eyeballing it. So if I push this there, so I give myself I want to give myself a 3-foot buffer around the table, just because it'll be easier to walk. With the actual measurements of these are only like 8 inches out, I think. So this will be like a 2.5 or maybe like a 2.75 foot walkway through there, which is no big deal. And then in all the areas that I need the clearance, which is over here and opening for the doors to swing out, if I keep the gaming table there in the center of the room, everything else can fit. And then I have all my bookshelves and my display stuff right here. Okay, I felt like this wasn't being very productive, so I just went and I did some other stuff, and then I came back to it. And at first I was feeling like what am I even doing? Am I just wasting my time doing this? But then I realized by like setting all this up and keeping that how it is, what I can do is I can put these cubes over here. But I can put the cubes here, and then I want to build out like zine storage racks, like all the like A5 books and all the zines, so I can display them like on both sides, and also all my maps. So I have like framed maps, and I don't want them permanently mounted to the wall. And it's really hard for me to put like screws and stuff because all the walls here are concrete, or most of the walls are concrete. So I can build zine storage racks and map storage racks over here. And I think that'd be a cool use of this wall. And then I can do like some custom lighting in the racks I build. So that'll be a video for the future. But I think this is the final layout. And now it's time to sell a bunch of stuff, to cut down and get a bunch of stuff out of here so I can actually rearrange it. Okay, that was the easy part. I think I got to start in here and do the hard part now and getting everything, all this stuff. So over here, I'm going to do long-term storage. I got a little bit of shelf stuff down there, Tupperware containers. Spilled coffee on this box a couple minutes ago. Got to clean that up. A bunch of gunpowder that I'm probably not going to do anytime soon. There's my Chaos Dwarfs, my Fabergé doors up there. I want to get better at like old school style painting. I'm going to practice on a couple of things before I do that. Legit confrontation models. I'll do those Sunday because that's the game too. I want to practice in that style. This is what's left of the Gunpla. I'm going to keep these. These are all stuff I really want to build. But I've done a Gunpla purge. This is what remains. And tucked over here, this is just the box that's empty, not that. But the rest of this is going to be my works in progress shelf. So I'm going to limit myself to not having any outstanding projects. I'm going to limit it to just this shelf. Oh God, there's the KDM. But my plan is in here. This will be like all the stuff. Like if I want to pull something out to work on it, I can hop in here, grab it. I'm going to put like a little curtain, shower curtain right there, since I pulled the door out. So I have all this, the works in progress shelf. And that's just where I'm going to keep like all the stuff I plan on working for the next year, honestly. And if it doesn't fit on here, or it doesn't fit in long-term storage behind me, it's got to go. So I think I'm going to try to get $200 worth of stuff into eBay every day. I'm starting with this. So now that I can 3D print it, I have this old Grimkin stuff that I've already 3D printed. So this is the real metal, and I think the Skin and Moans is resin. So I'm throwing this up on eBay, probably pretty cheap because it's kind of rough. But I'm gonna get $200 worth of Grimkin stuff into eBay. Wow, there's a lot of people selling the Steamforged STLs on eBay. Naughty birds. I'm not gonna do that. I just want to be clear. I'm unsarcastically definitely not gonna do that. I think that's pretty messed up. Okay, I got 200 into eBay. Started getting organized down here. I got to get my War Machine in. Pretty good day. I don't know if it was a good video, but it was a good hobby day. See you tomorrow.